Shit. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the lateness as well. Vegas has claimed another victim here for the League of Inches crew, but we are back. Vegas special. Cannot wait. How good is it?
Hey guys,
zero.
you ready to let the dogs out?
Of the NRL season. Sunday, we are kicking off with 2 games. Cannot wait for it. As always, guys, as you get online, make sure you get involved in the comments. We'll feature it as we go. But first of all, I just want to have a quick shout out to our Supercoach crew. We've got our Supercoach overall comp. You can still enter it. You've still got about a day and a half to enter. The comp code is 452990. That will win you that Supercoach ring that looks like one of those Super Bowl rings. It's awesome, guys. So make sure you do go ahead and add your team to it. It's completely free, and there's a chance to win that Supercoach ring. So why wouldn't you? Here we go, guys. Unfortunately, the show hasn't made its way to Vegas this week. I'm not too sure what Peter V'landers is thinking. But look, we'll try and get there next year, guys. But there's a crew. I'm going to go to Jez first because I think someone needs to poke him to wake him up. He's a bit hungover. He's had a rough start to his Vegas week. Jez, how you going?
Yeah, really good. I'm excited. I'm just happy that the NRL's back, and obviously, can't wait to see what the boys get up to over there. I was channeling my inner Matty John show, and just how blind they were the whole time they were over there. So that's my character, and that's what I've gone with, is just the drunk in the background. Gordon Tallis he was next level that whole time. So that's who I'm channeling right now.
Yeah, going back on I heard some interviews with them. They were saying they were literally wasted the whole trip. So how they got to air some of that content, who knows? Mika, going over to you now. I'm just going around the screen, and the rock star himself looks like the rock star tonight. I think you're up for your best episode.
I feel like if I was in Vegas, this is what I would look like 24/7.
It'd be the people that everyone avoids with their kids on the street in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I do swear a lot.
Yeah.
100%. Adam, look, I think this is the last week where you can actually generally relax before you get into it with the Eels. So you're looking forward to watching these 2 games as a neutral fan?
Yeah, like I said, I've really just embraced the American culture. Been eating ice cream every day. I went shooting yesterday. And I've just been I've actually got a bit of RSI at the moment.
Range.
Yeah, I've got a bit of RSI from just slapping the pokies and throwing money at strippers all week. So look, it's been a hell of a time, Vegas style. And obviously we hope all the players avoid all those things over there and there's no drama. So we can continue to take this great game across there. But I'll obviously segue to Anthony and say, if one of the players does happen, we hope it's a Roosters player.
100%. That was great. And as everyone's seen today, our ladder predictions and our bold predictions have gone out live, and we have definitely copped some absolute love for what we have predicted, which always is the case, but I love it. Anthony, of course, is in Random South guy. Anthony, you have actually got a team featured this week, so it's probably a bit different for you. You're probably getting the nerves building up now. How's things for you in the build-up?
Yeah, big weekend ahead, mate. With the Vegas games going on, hopefully we can beat Millie on the weekend, but should be a good game. I'm happy to actually be on the podcast for once. I've been a member now for about 3 months, and I haven't been on one episode because of footy, so glad that I got the night off tonight with the swollen eye, so happy to be here, boys.
Celebrate in Vegas, yeah.
You should see the other bloke.
Can I ask you a quick question first, Anthony? Obviously we said the season's starting. I guess as a fan, especially South Sydney, obviously like Parramatta had a pretty disappointing end of the year. As a fan of the game, and you obviously look forward to the season, does it disappoint you that you actually can't get to watch your team in round one, obviously because the game's so far away?
Not really, mate. I know Vegas is like a big thing for the game, so hopefully, if they do well and everything goes good, the game can obviously grow as they're aiming to do. And yeah, hopefully, I think this Vegas thing, they've locked it in now for the next 5 years. I don't know if the same teams are going every year. So yeah, I guess I won't be the only one that's experiencing that in the coming years.
Yeah, well, I'm only probably about 5 multis away from going and watching my team play there. So best of luck to
Got a few.
Andrew Backhouse with the early backhand to Adam. It started straight away in this live video, which happens every week, but this one's been an early one, so we'll watch that with intent tonight. Let's get into the Vegas side of things, and Adam sort of point on it a bit there, how fans would feel missing out watching if they support one of these four teams. What's our feelings ahead of the doubleheader this Sunday, guys? Jez, I'll go back to you before you fall asleep with your hangover. How are you feeling in the lead up? Obviously, you don't have it. Your Knights aren't part of it this year. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't really have a horse in this race, do I? But I'm just excited that the rugby league is back. And I think all just the hype around the Vegas round. And, you know, there was someone said that the last game that was played on this turf was the Super Bowl. So to back that up was that's pretty cool. So I just think the vibes are up. It's Vegas and we're ready to go. Plus 2 games on a Sunday. Who can complain?
What do you think with that? Is there realistically a way, Adam, I'll go to you for this one. Do you reckon we can really entertain getting into this market?
No, look, it's not about the market and the fans, to be honest. They're trying to obviously break into the American betting agency and betting market. That's a big gain out of that. Like I heard it best on another show that if they can break into, I think it's either 0.5 or 1% of the 1% of the American betting market, they'll make, what is it, like 8 million, 9 million, millions or something like that. That's what it's about. Look, let's be honest. They're saying they want to grow the game over there, and that's what it's about, but it's not. I've been looking and kind of watching the ticket sales over there, and I dare say they'll be giving away free tickets to some lucky punters at casinos throughout the days leading up to it. But look, if we can grow the game in regards to bringing more money into the game, which obviously means growth of paying the players more. And I know they obviously get a fair bit as is, but keeping these players around, obviously that can lead to bringing, I guess, other teams in and just making the game stronger in general. Obviously, it's going to be great for the game. So if that's what they're hoping to achieve by bringing more money in, then good luck to them.
They were saying you got a ticket to the game with your check-in to the hotel. So if you checked in with the code word Rabbits or Broncos, you got a ticket to the game. So kind of adds to that giving it away sort of thing.
Can I highlight one thing where we really screwed up? Like I get the teams we've taken over, but for me, a market, when you think about what we've got over here, I know they're not our strongest teams, but either of the ones we've taken, even though Jason Saab thinks they are. We missed a market by not taking teams over, e.g. like the Cowboys. So if we took the Cowboys over, obviously got the Dallas Cowboys there. Like if you looked at taking teams over the Dolphins, obviously Miami Dolphins, in that regard, the Raiders, obviously the Las Vegas Raiders, like I know they're not our most powerful teams and obviously not going to produce the best footy, but it would attract fans of those teams, I think, to go watch the game a bit more. It's just something I've had a little bit of an interest in because I know the NRL was obviously...
They know the name.
They know the name.
Exactly name.
Right. Exactly right. I know the NRL for quite a while. Remember they went through that stage where they were trying to get teams to remove the location from their name. E.g. the Dolphins have come in as just the Dolphins. If they were going along that mark and they advertised them as just the Raiders or, opposite the Broncos are one because the Denver Broncos, but still it could have been done a lot better in that regard.
I think they're trying to look at getting the Hollywood factor into it, this one, because obviously Manly have Hugh Jackman. I can't argue with the Bunnies. I think the Bunnies are star power, and it probably worldwide known, as Random South guy knows, with the Random South jerseys everywhere. So, and that's obviously Russell Crowe as well. But I do get what you're saying, like just having a few of those teams that sort of relate. But I guess with the 5-year approach that every team's going to have a chance to get over there, we will get to see that as the years go on. And this is probably the test run that I think they're going to obviously lose money and quite a bit of money, and they're probably happy to do that just to start to get things out. And obviously once they bring the League of Inches crew over there next year, the revenue will be huge because everyone want to come and meet our ugly mugs. But here we are now. Andrew, I want to throw you the question that the old man has sent through, good old Dave Johnston. Channel 9, they're not showing both games. Do you reckon that's a bit of a up yours to rugby league fans that can't afford Foxtel or KO?
Who'd you ask the question to? Anthony.
Oh,
Yep.
Anthony. Yeah.
You said Andrew, so he was waiting for Andrew.
Oh, sorry,
to answer.
I was like, Andrew's constantly on your mind, isn't he?
Backhouse, get into it.
Come on, Backy.
He started early.
No, not really. Yeah, it is, to be honest, man. Because like I know a lot of people, like especially older people that probably don't know how to use KO because they don't know probably how to use a smart TV. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, oh, how come? I even noticed that actually myself because I was watching Channel 9. I was watching the World Club Challenge last week, and I seen the Channel 9 ad, and the Roosters and Brisbane game was the only one that came up, and I thought, how come they're not advertising the Souths and Manly game as well? And then it came to me, and I realized that they're only showing one game. So yeah, it's not good that they're doing that, to be honest. I think because it's a big thing like Vegas, and it's the first year they're doing it there. They should probably use that to show both games. But you also got to think of it as there's a deal between Channel 9 and Foxtel, where I think Foxtel have the rights to only one Sunday game, and Channel 9 have got the rights to the main Sunday game. So yeah, that's probably the reason why.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Mika, I'll get you in the Rockstar. Do you think this is going to be a success? Like deep down, do we actually think this is going to work? The early stages so far?
I reckon they'll get some gamblers out of it, and they're going off the back of the fact that during COVID, we were the only professional sporting code in the world that was running, and we had a lot of Americans.
It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
So I reckon they will. I reckon they'll get what they're after. If they're only after 1% of a gambling market, I reckon they'll get that easy. I don't think they'll get the proper support and fanfare if they're after any, because I think there's only, did I hear just under 40,000 tickets so far or something?
35K.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
so
35,
I mean,
That's actually
it's
that's
not
not-
that's
bad.
actually pretty
but-
good.
Yeah, but
Like
it's
I
not where
said-
they want it to be.
To be honest, it was
for a
25,000
double
last
header.
week, and then they just
Yeah, but-
boosted it up this week. So
Yeah, or the free
Yeah.
tickets
Yeah.
when you checked into hotels. But this game would have attracted, if this was a run as a double header in Sydney, it would have attracted 46,000 Allianz.
Yeah.
Oh, 100.
So
Yes,
if you go off 35, it's not that far off the mark. And look, you're going to get some punters, mind the pun, but rock up obviously on game day. There's going to be more attractions. There's going to be giveaways and stuff like that. And they'll probably, I looked at the tickets, the prices of tickets on halfway was about $189 US.
if,
So that's actually quite a lot. So you think if
Yeah.
they slice that, those tickets, like remember they obviously took the game across there. It was a state of origin. They took it across there. Does anyone remember what year that was? It was a long time ago.
I was
That
in the
LA.
80s.
Yeah,
Was it in the-
89 or was it?
80s.
Yeah, they took that game across, and what looked ridiculous there was the patch seating because they tried to sell tickets in different areas to make it look like it was a lot fuller. So
Have you-
if they slash the prices and just put everyone in the lower section, it's going to look a lot better.
Have you boys seen what the field looks like?
yeah, I saw a
Yeah.
picture today.
Yeah, seen those photos.
Someone's going into the corner.
it's gonna-
Someone-
I think it depends on the games too. Like if they're decent games that don't have anything ridiculous or too confusing happen that'll lose the Americans, then it'll probably be more of a success too. So
You're saying the bunker should stay out of it?
Well, let's
Yes.
maybe.
It was 1987.
let's talk about that.
that game over in Los Angeles, 87.
Was in where they play the Rose Bowl, I believe,
Let-
wasn't it?
Mm,
Yeah, which is a big stadium.
huge.
I want to talk about the officiating because I think they are going to be playing a vital part in this showcasing of both these games. As obviously, you know, it's been well publicized now. The fields are narrower. Lengthwise, it's smaller as well. So, how's that going to impact the game? We are yet to know. We're imagining it will impact. I think it'll impact probably the Broncos the most because they have a lot of those backline moves. We will get into that when we preview the Roosters and Broncos game. So, the backline side of things, I think, will get impacted. There won't be as much room, but in the middle, it's just going to be literally just bashing each other up constantly. I don't think there's going to be much room, but the referees need to make sure that that's a wide 10 meters. Like I'd say, entertain the idea of 11 or 12 meters apart and really try and open that game up a bit and just have it free flowing. Like don't nitpick on early penalties like I've seen in other years where the first few rounds are really nitpicky because they've been training about the rules for the off season, but the referees for mine are playing a vital part.
We want
let-
it ref like an Origin game because
Yeah, I
they
was
let
about to
so
say,
much
can we-
time in an Origin
yeah.
game. They let it flow. They let them smash each other. That's how we want these two games refereed for the viewers' sake. Is just to let it go and ref it like an Origin game. Rules go out the window.
So what he's
Especially seeing as
saying-
though
He's saying let the boys fight because you look at America's two. Well, they've got obviously three pretty big sports: NFL, or 4 big sports. We've got a lot of big sports, but obviously in NHL you're allowed to throw punches, and it's great. I love when those videos come up with the fights in NHL. In the NFL, there isn't a lot of that. It's a bit of push and shove. So we're essentially combining the sport they love the most, NFL, with a good hockey punch up. How good would that be if they start throwing it?
I think especially too, seeing as though they've marketed the brutality of it. Like they're talking about no pads, no helmets, big hits. If they ref it too soft, then they won't get to see what they've been told they're going to see. So
I found it interesting that last night I was watching the NRL 360 show, and part of their video package was literally the Biff. So it's quite funny that they've banned the Biff so much, the NRL, and they're trying to outlaw everything and say how bad of an image it is for the game. But the first thing they'll use to promote the game is the Biff. They know deep down that's what's going to sell to the American fans. The other important fact, I think, the day afterwards, NASCAR's on there, and I think deep down, the NRL knows if they're going to get fans and win them over in America, they're the types of fans that will probably be encouraged to go and watch this game. Obviously, no offense, but we know the Rev Heads. It's probably
South
Rev Heads
fans.
and rugby league go together.
Are you trying to
What was
say
that?
Are you trying to say the rednecks? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to come out and say? Here?
Are you saying Souths fans? Come on, Joel.
Yeah. You can't say
Oh,
stuff.
hang
like
on. Anthony takes it. Anthony will take accession to that.
that.
He's
Talk about, or no, I'm just joking.
Let's get into the previews. First of all, we've got the actual season opener, guys. It's not the Roosters and Broncos game, so don't believe Channel 9. Manly versus South Sydney. Manly $1.98, South $1.86 are the favourites. I want to talk first of all about the fullback battle, which I am so intrigued about. We've got 2 star attractions at the back. Both probably had below past seasons for their own liking last year because of injury and the like, just weren't able to get a solid run into things. Where are we at? Anthony, obviously a Latrell man, being a South Sydney fan. Where's this battle going to be won and lost for yours?
Well, look, it's weird because like the first thing I was thinking of today was Souths love going down that left side, and you got Latrell throwing these cutout balls to Johnston, and Johnston normally dives in the corner to score, but I don't know where he's going to be diving to score with that stadium, mate, because of the field.
Through the front row.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing that play or not. But big matchup, Travojevic and Latrell. Obviously, you got Latrell had that pretty bad end to last season. I think that Newcastle game was probably the worst game I've seen him having a South jersey, to be honest. And a lot of South fans, including myself, were a bit critical of him after that. But yeah, this is a big game, big show, like Las Vegas, the lights, all that stuff. That's pretty much what he loves. So hopefully he turns it on and gives us a good game. With Tommy Turbo, I obviously came off. He's had a few injuries now. I've said to a few people, I think if he gets one more injury, that's it for his career, because I can't see him returning after that, mate. But yeah, hopefully for him, obviously I'm a South boy and I want South to obviously destroy him. So I hope he has a very bad game, but if he can turn it up and play like he is with the quick wingers they have, like Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick, and then you got the forwards of Olakau'atu and Travojevic and all them. Manly are a very underrated team. I didn't pick him in my top 8, but they can definitely be up there at the end of the season if they fire right. And Travojevic and Cherry Evans as well. He's a big player for them. He needs to really turn up. And, it's South Ilias as well. He needs to really step up. I think he's had 2 years now where he's been a bit under par, if I must say myself. But yeah, they've got to all really put on a big performance in Vegas and really, turn up, because Souths need to really do all this year. This is like the crunchy now.
Got a question for you about Latrell Mitchell. This is the first time we've had you on, obviously being the South fan. I've been reading a few things in the chats and stuff. It feels like to me there's starting to become a bit of pressure on Latrell on the side, and some of the fan base, I wouldn't say are turning on him, but are starting to sort of turn the torch up a little bit on him, in the fact that the money is on. They're a bit disappointed with the performance he has put on the field. We know how good he can be. Where are you at with Latrell in terms of, is this a massive year for Latrell Mitchell as a whole for his career at South Sydney and what he's remembered for?
Oh, look, he's a great player. Everyone knows he's probably, like, on his day, he's one of the greatest. He's not one of the greatest, but you could say he's one of the greatest, but like on his day, he's definitely up there. He can definitely turn it on and stuff. So hopefully, mate, like the pressure's on this year, but as we know, cough, cough, South social media team, we can't be negative towards any of the South players, or we might get blocked off social media. So yeah, mate, hopefully he turns on. game, and hopefully Souths, like I said before, put on a scoreline. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure this year, not just on Latrell. He's a big player, but there's a lot of pressure on him. Cody Walker, the halves, they all got to really have a big season this year. But I think if they just keep their head down and they just play the footy that everyone knows they can, because people forget, man, they were first round 11 last year, like they were top of the league. Everyone, thought Souths were going to win the comp, and then it all just came crashing down. So yeah, mate. Hopefully they just turn it on and, play like they are, and everything should be sweet, man. They should be up there at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. And you're going to fit well. You're going to fit right in here because we always like to talk about the Parramatta social media team and stuff as well. So, and there's a bit of a preview, a bit of a spoiler, guys. Me and Anthony were having a chat next week about go more in depth with his side of things and South Sydney as well. So looking forward to that interview, and that'll be out next week. Boys, Jez, I'll get you in. The Latrell versus Turbo battle. Who do you think's coming out on top?
Well, it's hard to follow Anthony up there because he's just summed that up all really nicely and articulated it very well. So he hasn't left much wiggle room in terms of opinion here. So thanks for that, Anthony. Well done.
It's like he follows South City, knows a bit about him, eh?
Yeah, he just knows a little bit about them. I'm honestly just excited to see both of these two have a red hot game. I think as a rugby league fan, I think having Trbojevic times 3 in this game is going to be exciting to see how they all work together. But then to have him and Latrell, going head to head, I think that's just exciting for rugby league in general, and also exciting for New South Wales selections later in the year.
If it's superstar attraction that they're after, the Americans, they're going to get in spades with the 2 number 1s here. Mika, you're the rock star. These two give me rock star vibes.
Yeah, they do. I'm looking forward to it. I reckon Latrell's actually going to have a really good year. I think last year was pretty rough, and he knows he needs to do better. So I actually enjoy watching him play when he's on fire, and I've got South good friends of mine that cannot stand him and wish he still never came to their club. So he's very polarizing.
I'll have him. We'll take him. Jeez, he's looking fit. He's looking
center.
real fit this year too.
I'll take him as center.
He's still best position center, but maybe this is the year where he makes us go, you know what? He is a fullback.
Adam, no sitting on the fence. Tell me who comes out on top here.
Look, I think that's obviously the game's played at Giant Stadium. So I think he's the kind of player that will get himself up for one of these big games. Obviously, the hype around the game. We know he spent a bit of time in America last year with his rehab. So I can really see him getting himself up for the game. And I'm not going to sit on the fence. So what I can say is I can see Latrell creating some highlights, some individual highlights. The thing that concerns me for Turbo and for Latrell is they're both going to have to play as individuals in this game because, as Anthony's already touched on, and South Sydney, they love that left-hand side raid, but so do Manly. Manly love hitting their left-hand side and going to Saab as well. So with the limited space in the field and shortening it by 5 metres, everyone going, it's not that much, it's 5 metres. It's a lot. 5 metres on a football field is a lot. You look how close those scrum lines are, and it's massive. So I'm worried for both of their games. I don't think we're going to see the best out of both of them in regards to their streaking away and scoring tries or open space or creating those backline moves with those cutout passes to their wingers because the space just isn't going to be there. But look, if I had to pick a man of the match out of those two, based on highlights for the game, I'd be going for Latrell. Just because Turbo's obviously coming back from injuries as well. So.
But also Latrell's game, he can run over people where
Correct.
Turbo's probably not that type of person. And that's what this shortened field is going to produce. It's going to produce collisions. It's going to produce people running over the top and bursting through gaps. So Latrell is very good at finding those weak points. If someone dips a hip, then he's on the inside there and he's bursting through it. So I think that's where your highlight package is coming from.
Let's not forget that Turbo's got 2 brothers to get inside balls off now, though.
Yeah.
Is Ben
Trbojevic times 3.
Ben Trbojevic starting, or I haven't even seen that Manly. I think I've seen the Manly team list. I can't remember.
All 3 starting.
Yeah, he's starting.
He plays in the centres, doesn't he?
No, he's second row for
12.
Josh Schuster, who's been left behind.
Oh, shit.
mate.
I thought he was backline.
No, he'll be second row. Apparently, he's put on a bit of size as well. He's looking very, very good. I've heard rumours that he actually will be the starting player even when Schuster's back. So that
Fuck, man, he's too small to be in the forwards, but maybe he has put on size.
I liked how
nice.
you stopped short of playing when Schuster's fit. is what you were going to say. Then you said back. Well, I saw it. I saw where you were going there, Joel.
I don't want to touch. I'm trying not to touch on it. And I'm still remember last week where Jez was trying to say he'd be the guy in trouble at Vegas. And
He's still going to get in trouble. He's just not in Vegas.
Okay, so the interesting one I've got, I'm with Jez 100%. As a neutral rugby league fan, I can't wait to watch these two go at it. And I think the interesting point is both sides play at their best when both of these players are at their best. So if they come out firing, we are in for an absolute cracking game, no matter what. So I'm really looking forward to it as a neutral. I know Anthony will be sitting there with the sweats and stuff, watching this game as it's going back and forth. But all of us other four will just be sitting there on the lounge, feet up, going, how good is rugby league? So the next one I want to talk about, the battle, is Cody Walker versus Luke Brooks, which is an interesting one. I think straight away we all just go Cody Walker's a better player. That's fine. But what I'm intrigued with is the story behind both of these players. I think Cody's, again, coming off a year that he probably wouldn't be happy with. I don't know if he was fully all there throughout the year, which was disappointing for South Sydney. Probably their go down the ladder coincided with Cody Walker's form. And Luke Brooks, obviously he's been bashed at the West Tigers now his whole career, and he's going to a Manly side now where it just looks like in his interviews he's done so far, he's actually able to breathe again. He's actually got a new lease on life and just looks like a kid again that's going into first grade. He can't wait to get out there and get into it. So I'm not going to ask who the better player is, because I think we all are going to say Cody Walker, hands down. And if South Sydney are to win this game, it'll be off the back of some Cody Walker magic. But I'm just intrigued with this storyline, boys, because as I said, Luke Brooks really intrigues me in 2024. And I think a few of you had him as your most improved for this season.
Yeah, I had him.
Yeah,
He's actually
Anyone?
Yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah, no, he's gonna have a good year. The thing with him and Cody Walker, their game's very similar. Like, Luke Brooks likes to take the line on, and Cody Walker does as well. But I think Luke Brooks, I don't know, has he played 5'8" before? Because I know him as a halfback. So
Majority
Same.
halfback. I think
Same,
he may
same.
have played here and there.
Yeah, they're
maybe
very
when
similar.
Benji went back there for his second stint.
I think at Manly, Cherry Evans likes to dominate more in mostly the attack. So it'll be funny to see where Luke Brooks actually gets involved, because does he kick? Does he run? Does he do anything? Because, yeah, him and Cody Walker have got very similar games. As I know for Souths, obviously based on the last 2 years with Ilias at halfback, Ilias does more of the kicking, and Cody Walker does more of taking the line on and trying to get through or create players out the back for Latrell and Johnston to do their magic. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But they're both very, very similar players. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what Luke Brooks actually does at Manly.
See, I think
Mika
I think Cody Walker's under a little bit of pressure this year, just quietly. I know he's like getting towards the back end of his career. I know he started obviously his career late, but with Jack White and obviously looking to force his way back into the team when he comes back from suspension, I think Cody Walker needs to come out and fire pretty early, because I think I've already said it. I feel like the Super League's obviously where he's going to be next year. He's my first player of the year sent off to the Super League. Thanks, guys. But I do feel like he's under a bit of pressure. I know he does a lot, obviously, to settle Ilias. Ilias obviously can be a bit unsettled there, and obviously he hasn't played for that long. But yeah, it makes me nervous, because a Cody Walker that's out to prove something can often have a lot of errors come into his game.
I think we're cutting out there,
That's-
boys.
That's how you beat South Sydney.
Tribune
Like
help.
that's you get under his skin, and Cody Walker, that's the end of their game. If you get under his skin and you get him fired up in the wrong way. So that's what we touched on last time, was around him having to keep his cool. So if he keeps his cool, then South Sydney play really good rugby league. But I don't know. I just think Luke Brooks is going to be playing with a lot more freedom. He
Did
just he
everyone
doesn't
cut out?
have
Was
that
it just
weight
me?
on his shoulders. Like it's
Just you.
just
Yeah.
you. I'm just, yeah, I think Luke Brooks is going to be able to play with freedom. He's going to be able to run that ball, and Cherry Evans is going to still guide the Manly side around the park. But Anthony was right with the two running games. They're very, very similar. I think that would be really cool too.
Yeah. Mika, what is the Cody Walker injury? Is that a concern?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be fine. I think talking about the battle of the two, I think Brooks is going to have a better year than he has at the Tigers, because his game will be so much more simplistic. It'll just be let Cherry Evans steer and Brooks can run. But the problem with that's going to be is his defense still won't be any better than it ever was at the Tigers. And teams are going to then go, well, he's just going to run the ball, jam him. And he'll start getting frustrated. And that's where I think he'll start making some errors and stuff like he does when he got frustrated at the Tigers. So despite I think he'll have a better year, I just think he'll still have those errors and whatnot. But he's in a better team, so they'll probably get covered up a bit more.
I think the fact that he's going to be third string in their attack, obviously Turbo and DCE will always go before him. I think that just suits him so much better now. He can just get away from that pressure. I think he'll be a really good at a linking up player. He'll be sniffing around those forwards and looking for those offloads and stuff. I can see him getting into a lot of open space throughout the year. Obviously, this game will be a bit tougher with that shortened field, but overall for the season, I definitely am excited by Luke Brooks. The next player I want to talk about is Adam's favorite player, who has a really interesting stat on that. I don't know if anyone knows this random fact about this guy.
Don't you say it? Don't you say it? Don't you say it? Yeah, I was going to say, don't you say it? Look, I don't know if you guys know, but when he actually got to America, obviously he flew over first class. They actually had a parade there for him. They welcomed him. There was I think it was like one of those top deck buses that went around and had a parade for him because they wanted to celebrate him being, I don't know if you guys knew this, but he was a champion beach sprinter when he was younger. So obviously he's a big deal in America, winning world titles. So I think he only won Australian titles, but yeah, so obviously, massive news over there and the impact he can have on the game. Well, look, if he's still got that beach spring ability, not much, because as I touched on earlier, the tightness of the field really isn't going to be for hookers. It's going to be kind of a stand and deliver for hookers because there ain't going to be a lot of room in the middle.
That's the hard thing, I feel like, with this condensed field. Is that the case? Is the hookers basically getting taken out of the games for both of these games for this one?
Well, yeah, you nailed it. And I guess the benefit for Manly, and I mean this in most respect, but Lachlan Croker is nowhere near as good a player as Damien Cook is. So for them to lose, obviously,
Croker's very.
Yeah, I heard half of what you said then because I know what you're saying. He's underrated. I get that, but I guess more of South Sydney's gameplay and attack comes from Damien Cook. So taking him out of the game in that regard obviously will impact South Sydney more than impact Manly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jez, where are you at? Damien Cook, can he shine in this one?
Well, I think his service from dummy half is still pretty excellent. So it doesn't matter if he can't run. I think he's still going to hit them on the chest and get him out in front. But then he will be able to find that open space in there if it does eventuate. But he can also kick a little bit as well. So I don't know. I like Damien Cook. I always have. It boggles my mind every time that beach sprinter fact comes up because you just don't see it.
What'd you say?
Sand, running, beach, Cook.
Is Cookie a beach
all
sprinter?
The buzzwords. Yeah.
Wow.
I think now this is I could be making stuff up here, but it's good content. I think the soil underneath the grass there is about 75% sand. So
that means he'll be able to run at 75% speed.
We are going to see some
Is that
speed
legit?
from that beach sprinter. No, I made that up. But it's good content.
I was going to say you sold it well. And no, Andrew, he doesn't have a black eye. He's if you watch from the start, he is actually hungover. So he's in Vegas at the moment, enjoying his life. That is not his house in the background. I think we can all agree with the Damien Cook side of things. So I'll move on to the last little player battle I want to talk about is the locks. Jake Trbojevic versus Cameron Murray, who I think with the condensed fields play a vital part in this one. I think I'll go out there and say I reckon most of the play will go between these two, and I'll have to decide when to run, when to pass and feed their backline, which it probably will be very, very hard to judge that with so many players around. Anthony, you're the fan of Cameron Murray. He's an absolute star in my eyes. I think he's very, very underrated. And personally, I'd actually have him ahead of Isaiah Yeo, but that's just me. You must be confident going into this one, knowing the fact Cam Murray's in the. Oh, Mika wants to say something. Look out, he's at the mic.
He's better looking than Isaiah Yeo, that's for sure.
Oh, yes, he is.
I've got them both. I don't like when people ask me. I don't separate Isaiah and Cameron Murray. I think they're both, good players in their own rights. Isaiah's got a great ball playing ability, especially in front of the line. Cameron Murray more. I think Cameron Murray, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a play South do that really shits me. Actually, Cook shits me as well because it's like this short ball, with 10 meters out, and it comes off probably 10% out of 100%. You probably 2 out of 10 times. Him and Murray always seem to work.
20%.
whatever, man. I'm shit at maths. But don't get me to do any maths equations, lad. But yeah, no. Whenever him and Murray always work it properly, and you know, it's a really good play. Murray obviously is dominant in the forwards, dominant through the middle. We need him to really be on Sunday because I think who's he matching up with? Travojevic. Yeah, Travojevic also a good player as well. But Manly's forwards are all like Ola Kawatu. You got to watch out for all those players.
I think you nailed this one, Joel. They're going to have to find the fine line between when they ball play and run. And I think both these players are going to have to do what Junior Paulo needs to do this year and just knuckle down and run the ball a lot more. And play those tough minutes, which could obviously restrict both their minutes, which could also have an impact on the game.
I think we're going to see some tired legs out there.
I was about to say that. Does that play into the interchanges?
Yeah, it's going to be very physical in that middle pack there.
What's the weather like on Sunday? Yeah, in Vegas, is it hot or?
It's air conditioned in the stadium, so it doesn't matter. It's whatever.
The roof.
Oh no, I can't remember. Fuck.
Look out. That's all right. Mika, get your opinion on this battle. The two middles, obviously. Don't sit on the fence. Who comes out on top for this one?
Murray.
Is that it?
Done.
That's all you got?
Done.
That's all you got?
I just think he'll. I just like him more as an attacking player. I think Travojevic is very defense-minded. So in a game like this, I think Murray will come out on top. Smooth and simple.
All right. You're smooth and simple, so I'm going straight back to you to give me your winner, margin, and first try scorer for this one.
Oh, geez, I was not ready for that.
And I want a 1 to 12 or 13 plus margin. That's what I mean.
Better check who I tipped. I think I tipped South by 8. First try scorer. Let's go. I want to say Latrell because it'd be. I bet you'd carry on heaps, but let's go with Cody Walker.
He took mine. Fuck.
Did I answer those 3 questions right?
You did.
Yeah, cool.
So there's no bold prediction.
Bold prediction. I want to see if I reckon there'll be a fight. Actually,
yes. Hang on. No, don't go too far because you're about to ruin mine.
Quickly, I can't believe they're not the 4 teams that are going over there. They don't have South and the Roosters playing each other.
Yeah,
to me,
that's
that
do it.
sense.
That should be a crowd over here.
That'd
be an uproar.
They couldn't do that. There's no way. Yeah,
It's
they would
true,
riot.
Yeah,
You can't
true.
do that.
Fair points.
It's the only time Roosters fans stand
Carry
up
on.
all year for that game. Look, I've got I've got Manly by 4. Sorry, Anthony. As I stated, I see South Sydney getting off to a bit of a slow start. I'm going to play the game out to you. My first try scorer is Latrell. I feel like he's going to make a pretty good start. And like I said, he can have those highlights. But this is where it goes downhill for South Sydney. My bold prediction, I'm going to name the players as well. I feel like Nathan Brown is going to bring back the biff and do a job on Latrell when Nathan Brown comes off the bench. I think there's a very good reason that Manly obviously promoted him. I know he's trained the house down and put him into that team. We know he's going to bring a bit of CUNT into the game. I stopped short of saying it. I went to, and I had to look at the time. It's not 9:30 yet, but I can see him getting under Latrell's skin. So my bold prediction is for Latrell Mitchell and Nathan Brown to both be sin binned, and that's when the game goes downhill for South Sydney. Manly by 4.
Well,
Go on, Jez. Get into it.
First try scorer, I've got Jason Saab. And then I also have Manly winning by 6. I have Manly getting up by 6. I'm not going to do a play out the game like Adam because I'm just going to let it happen. Bold prediction, though, and it's not a very nice one. No, I shouldn't do that. I won't do that. That's not nice. I'll change it on the fly. Bold prediction, we're going to see a streaker.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
look out.
But will we actually see it? Or will they do what they do in the American NFL?
Nah.
And
They'll
don't
cut
show
away,
it?
but we'll see it on Twitter and all the other socials. So
Well, now too, they don't show it anymore.
Buzz Rockfield will love that. That's for sure.
Anthony, give us your one.
right, I'll go first try scorer, Colin Matangi from a short ball. I think he'll run a good line and go over. South by, I'll say South by 10. And my bright prediction, you might laugh, but Latrell will get the last try and you'll walk over to all those 10 Roosters supporters, well, they're not Roosters, they're Sydney City. He'll walk over to all 10 of them and give them up yours at the end.
Up yours or just do this? He'll just It is for sure.
The old 2 finger, like, woof,
The
nah,
And,
the double finger. Whoa.
and Anthony,
Yeah.
that'll be the 20% that short ball works.
That's it. mate.
He's fitting in well. I'll tell you what, he's going to have a fan base after him. So Adam's got Penrith. Anthony's now got Sydney City.
Hang on. I don't have Penrith.
Called, so
I've got everyone but Parramatta, essentially.
Well, I have to change mine because
Yeah,
I hate Souths. But now I'm going to have to be nice to Souths because Anthony's here.
No, you don't have to. No.
that's
We're not nice to the Knights because you're here.
true. I've got first try scorer. I've got Latrell as well. I really like Latrell. I think he'll be up for this game. So I've got him crashing over, probably running over Luke Brooks, to be honest, just on that edge there and just crashing over for a try. I don't like the back line at the moment for South, unfortunately, because of the injuries. I think that'll play a bit of a part in things. It does concern me slightly. I think it's just one player too many that they've got out currently. So I'm going to go Manly 1-12. I think Manly by a field goal in this one. DCE always somehow manages, and it does my freaking head in. He manages to just get these 1-pointers in these sorts of games and looks like the absolute superstar. So that's that game, guys. If you're going to gamble or put a multi on for what
The
we've
kick
said,
is
gamble
good.
responsibly, please.
Before we get on to the, I've got a little. You threw in an extra question about the lock sense. I've got a question for you all, and I'm going to give you time to think because I'm going to give Adam's multi of the week as we do that. But the question for you is in time to think is, we forgot this last week, but what player from these 4 teams will be chased by an NFL team after these games are over? All right, so while you're thinking, my multi of the week, I'm going for a fullback multi because I think all the fullbacks can stand up in these games, and obviously there's going to be a lot of highlights on them. So I've got a same game multi of Tom Trbojevic and Latrell to score into another same game multi of Reece Walsh and James Tedesco to score. For $1, you can get 55.68 power played on Sportsbet for $5, $318.32. Gamble responsibly.
Cha-ching.
Fuck, that's
On the
better
way
than
to
John.
Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
So back to that question. Joel, you can go first because you usually ask the questions. What player from these 4 teams will be targeted by the NFL?
I'm tossing up between either Cooler or Jason Saab. Jason Saab both have natural speed. Jason Saab has that little bit more. I think he might be getting some little inquiries after this game.
Am I next?
Go on,
I'll go
Adam, take
Jason.
over as host.
Anthony, you next. Go on.
All right.
Anthony.
I'll go Jason Saab as well. Obviously, very quick. People might not know this. Well, actually, I don't think many of them will. But I played with him when I was younger at Maryland on Wednesday nights. He used to come down with his dad Pierre, Pierre. Yeah, he was a champion bloke, and he just shot up out of nowhere, and he became a freak. So, yeah, for me, Jason Saab. I've always said if it wasn't for rugby league, I thought he would be like a sprinter or basketball player. But I think those Americans will go nuts when they see his height and how quick he is. So, yeah, he's a freak, man.
The only problem I've got with Saab is sometimes his hands let him down. We obviously know it's a massive thing in the NFL, so they wouldn't want to do too much research on his highlights package. Jeremy, you're next. Who you got?
He gets
Gloves.
gloves.
He'll be fine. Kalongamatangi. That's who I'm going with. I think he's going to be a defensive center. They're going to poach him. Very strong legs.
I got no idea what that is. I do not watch American football at all, so all that is just like Chinese to me.
Hey, you wear a Chargers jersey, or am I tripping out?
Is it what?
I said, doesn't Joel wear a San Diego Chargers jersey or whatever the fuck their name is?
Every now and then
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a hat.
he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Actually, you do.
He
Yep.
does. I've
He
seen-
doesn't. He doesn't even follow the game, and he wears it. He's like literally.
I got no idea. I've got to
Alright,
give them
Adam
to me,
and,
so I'll just wear it.
14
It
minutes.
looks cool.
We'll go to. Is it Micah next? Micah.
Yeah, maybe
You
after
almost-
9/11, where everybody gets so sensitive.
What?
Just hangover.
Maybe that's why Hargraves is retiring. He's going over there to play NFL. Big bopper.
Oh,
Nah.
spit your answer.
Mate, he's
out.
gone super. He's
Time
already signed.
is
he?
money.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably go Matangi as well. He kind of has the right body and game style to make something over there, I reckon.
All right. Well, I asked the question, so I've obviously had some time to think about it. Of course, Turbo's obviously too broken down. Look, Latrell with a bit of fitness in the highlights he can provide would have the perfect build for a running back, but obviously probably getting on a little bit too much as well. I think Reece Walsh is going to gain a bit of interest, just for the back of, obviously he'll have the highlights in his game. He's young, he's quick, he's zippy, probably not quite big enough, but could make it as a wide receiver. And have you guys seen that video going around of him and Tom Brady and the catch he takes off Tom Brady? Like
At a conference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's at a conference, exactly right. But the way he ran that in and knew where it was going to be, with the abilities obviously got, I think big money can talk. And I guess the mistake that the last two to go over from the NRL have made is their age. They've gone over, obviously they've been older in their career. Valentine Holmes just didn't stick it out, but Reece Walsh is pretty young. So you watch, I can guarantee you after this game, there'll be one player chased and goes over and has a try.
You sound
Damien
like the
Cook.
recruitment officer. Watches YouTube videos and signs people.
Yeah, 100%. That's what they can
It'll be-
do.
It'll be Damien Cook because of the amount of forward passes he throws out of dummy half. He's the next big quarterback.
Let's move on to the next game. I was going to be till bloody midnight at this rate. Roosters versus the Brisbane Broncos in the official Channel 9 season opener. $2.41 for the Roosters, which I looked at this price and I almost fell over, and $1.57 for the Brisbane Broncos. As I said earlier, I actually think the Broncos will be the team most impacted by the smaller field. They do so many of their backline raids, their sweeps, and it works so well generally on a normal size rugby league field because there's a bit more space. Without that space, I actually think they are limited in being able to actually produce that. Again, though, guys, I've got the fullback battle. I've got a master versus apprentice, basically. James Tedesco being there, done it on the big stage. Reece Walsh obviously had a breakout year for mine last year, arguably one of the best fullbacks in the competition. Pressure on him to continue that this year. If any early signs are anything to go by in that trial that he played the other week, he was flying. Funnily enough, he played his best football when Adam Reynolds was off the field, so make of that what you will. Where are we at with this one, guys? The fullback battle and just sort of your early signs for this game. Jez, get you in on this one first.
It is. It's master versus apprentice. I think Teddy will probably pull out one of his best games he's had in about 10 years just because it's on such a big stage and he's got a trip of a lifetime to go over to Vegas, so he might as well make the most of it. I don't think these trips are going to happen for him anytime in the distant future. So I think he's going to pull one out of his backside and have a really, really good game. And hopefully the big occasion doesn't get to Reece Walsh. I think defensively in Origin, he was a bit poo-poo. So I think, and even in that grand final, he probably wasn't the best he could be. So hopefully his off-season has been a really strong one and he can produce some quality attack and then back that up with some quality reads in defense. But I think the small fields might also help the fullbacks a little bit there as well because there's not going to be that much space for them to get in and around. So they might not even have to make a tackle. Might just be catching the ball and running it back.
Punt returns.
Yeah. Reece Walsh signed to the NFL.
I'm hoping Vegas doesn't chew him up and spit him out. That's happened to some of the greats over the years, so he has to get through the next couple of days first. Mika, who you got with this battle, the fullback battle?
I think they are the fullback battle. Walsh would win, but I actually tipped the Sydney City Roosters.
Hey, don't go to that. Don't go to that. You're going ahead.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, well, it's part and parcel.
Good.
Yeah, okay. Fullback battle. I think Walsh comes out on top. Speed, man. He's too fast.
I'll leave
He always
Adam
just
to
does
it.
crazy cool stuff.
There is, but there's not going to be many holes for him to get through. That's my concern there.
Mm.
I leave Adam to last to have his rants on probably something he's got. He always has something to say when James Tedesco's mentioned. Anthony, you get to just sit back and actually watch this after hopefully your South Sydney Rabbitohs get the victory. Where are you looking at with this battle of the fullbacks and the game?
I think Tedesco. I don't like Easton that, but I think he's got. I think Tedesco's got more to play for this year. I think really, I think he's just got to really prove himself after obviously that Origin last year, where a lot of people said that he wasn't up to it anymore. So I think that East team looks pretty good, to be honest. So I think he'll fit. Dominic Young, I think's out, but I think Tedesco has got more to play for than Reece Walsh. I think Brisbane obviously had that rough end to the grand final last year and stuff, so they're still pretty down on that. But I've got them finishing first as well, Brisbane, but I don't know if, like, a lot of people said to me today, they go, I don't know if they'll be able to recover from that. And when you think about it, it's actually true because, like, that was a big loss they had in the grand final, like to lose from being that far up. So, yeah, but for me, to be honest, I think Tedesco will come out on top on that one.
Adam, have you got something nice to say about James Tedesco?
Yeah, I've got a lot of nice things to say. I just breaking news just come through in the spirit of obviously being in America and American football. They've actually allowed the option for players to wear helmets out. So Teddy will actually finish the game for once wearing his helmet as he falls through the line to pass the ball. So that's actually a good thing for the Roosters. And
You win the internet for today.
And even in more promising news for the Broncos, if their players actually want to wear them, we're actually taking the straps away from around the throat area, the chin, the throat for the Broncos ones. So there'll be no risk of choking. So they'll actually be able to finish off the game. So add both teams to the list. No, look, I've got Walsh as well. The reason I've got Walsh is, like I said earlier, in regards to the fullbacks in the last games, there's not going to be a lot of space. But like Michael said, speed and footwork is going to be a massive thing. If there's a player capable of creating space in the game as a fullback, it is Reece Walsh. Like I said, Latrell can run over people. Turbo relies on a bit of skill. And Teddy just tries to do that zigzag thing. And they stay up in a straight line on a limited field. They're obviously not going to be able to find that. But, yeah, I've got Walsh coming in on top there.
But Tedesco's Tedesco's backup play is second to none. The way he backs up after someone goes through is insane. Like, he's always there, to be honest. I think him and Dylan Edwards are probably two of the best of it in the comp. They do it so well. So, yeah, that as well. Like, Tedesco's always there when you need him, to be honest. So,
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up because that was the point that I didn't really get to. That Teddy and Edwards are definitely the two best fullbacks in the game at just being in the right place at the right time. They just always happen to be there looking for that little offload. And that's such a strong point to have in your game. If you can read that something's about to happen like that, that's really, really, really impressive. So I think if Reece Walsh actually gets that into his game, he's going to be unstoppable as well. So I think he just needs to follow the play a little bit more. Pardon?
It's what traditional fullback should do. Like the traditional fullback was obviously, as you coach kids or like coaching I've done as well, like kids, you turn around and you actually get them to support their halves and support their forwards, obviously for that short ball and stuff. So, or the offload. So many fullbacks these days want to play like a second 5'8". A lot of that's disappeared out the game. I think the players that still do that, and this is not actually having a go at Tedesco, but it's the players that don't quite have the ability to play as a second 5'8". So they rely on that supportive play. So it's what makes him such a good player and why he's still been around for so long with the evolving game.
But Inglis used to do that. Like, Inglis is probably the last fullback I've seen that's able to do both, where he used to play for, like, last receiver or second last receiver and come off, like, play out the back. And he used to always back, like, not always because he actually got lazy a few times, but he used to always be, like, backing up whenever we'd make a break or stuff. So, yeah, he's always, like, that's because Latrell, he's been at South now for 4 years. I don't think I've ever seen him back up a player in the clear once. So
I think you forgot about one other player that played 10 really good games last year, which was Ponga, was doing both the ball playing and obviously the supporting as well. So I know he didn't do it for the full season, but 10 games was enough to get him a Dally M. So we've got to show him a bit of respect there.
But he was popping up in the right spots. He was playing that role.
Are you?
Yeah. Popping up in the
Adam,
toilets.
You just gave Newcastle player a rap. Are you feeling all right?
It was a dig as well. It was a dig and a rap at the same time.
The Vegas lights are getting to him.
Yeah, I actually think that the narrow field suits James Tedesco a little bit more. I think it suits his natural game, his support playing, as we've spoken about, and the fact that he's not a massive ball playing fullback. He is definitely more of that runner, which I think he'll need to be doing on Sunday for that game. The other one I want to sort of talk about is the Sam Walker versus
James
Adam
Tedesco
Reynolds.
a massive ball bag. Did I hear that correctly?
No, he's not a massive ball back. I think he's a massive ball runner. I said so. He's not a much of a ball playing fullback.
Oh,
he doesn't pass the ball much. So
I thought you were just trying to get the
definitely
South
more of
Sydney,
that runner.
I thought you were trying to get the Roosters supporters in the comments for us.
No. I think after Anthony so far today and some of his comments, we're starting to lose the Roosters fans. But that's Sydney City. Sorry, Sydney City fans. So Sam Walker versus Adam Reynolds again. You could probably say a master and apprentice in a way. More so. The interesting one I want to talk about here is I think the Roosters, to play their best football, they need to put Sam Walker and just give him the keys to this side and say, you take over, you do what you got to do, and have Luke Keary play a supporting act for him. And for the Broncos, Adam Reynolds for mine had, and we have spoken about it in the past, he's had his worst 20 minutes of football in the most important stage of them all, the grand final for the Broncos last year. And I won't go as far as saying he cost him the game, but him not being on definitely impacted the Brisbane Broncos massively. And I think this game, he has a lot of pressure on him. He has a lot of pressure to make sure his body gets through the game. He doesn't show any signs of that niggle that he has been carrying towards the back end of last year and in the off season. And just the fact that it's going to be more, the playmakers have much more of an important role when it comes to the kicking side of things with the smaller field. He's going to make sure he's on for this game. So I'm really, really intrigued to watch this battle and see how it unfolds.
I'll just jump in and go because you didn't ask anyone. Yeah, you didn't ask. I'm just going to say Walker. And my reasons for Walker, as predicted earlier in our prediction shows, and I've mentioned it quite a bit, is I think Reynolds finishes the game. I think it's 1 year too long, as stated, as why South Sydney wouldn't sign him. And it all begins right now for Brisbane Broncos with their terrible start to the year and their gambling hangover. Wow, I am in Vegas. Their grand final hangover.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mika, what do you got for this battle?
I can't remember what the question was, to be honest. Oh, the halves, right?
Sam Walker v Reynolds.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with Reynolds. Big game experience still. I think he'll get it right. I mean, I do think, as Adam said, he'll have. Stop laughing at me. It's been a big day. I think Reynolds will have a rough year with injury, but I think he'll get through this one and he'll steer them better than Walker will.
Get your own opinion. You can't just jump on the Reynolds injury train.
Well, I can. I do what I want. These glasses say so.
Look, I want to go to Anthony last. There's a reason for that because I actually have an Adam Reynolds question for him. Jez, who you got taking out this battle?
I like the combination of Keary and Walker. I don't know. There's just something about it. I've got a feeling it might be the Vegas lights. It might be the 75% sand that they're going to be playing on. But I'm going to go with Keary and Walker to take out this battle's half.
Anthony, I've got a question for you. Adam Reynolds, where does he sit with you? Obviously, it wasn't his fault that he left. I think the club decided to go another way. But I don't know. You must sort of look back and go, if only.
Well, for me personally, I wasn't upset that we let him go because when we let him go, the way I felt was like we needed to let him go because he was there for too long and he wasn't really performing that season as well. He had a lot of injuries and stuff. But then when they let him go and they replaced him with Ilias, I was critical because I wasn't sure if Ilias was up to it. And based on what I've seen so far, he's not up to it. So that's why I got the shit with it because it's just like if we've got rid of Reynolds, we've got to get someone that's at least anywhere near as good as him, not someone that's, you know what I mean, like as poor as Ilias has been so far. So if Ilias can fix his game and actually like turn up and perform the way he should be, I'm happy to go back on my word and say that, you know, letting go of Reynolds was good, but at the moment it was a bad move because we haven't got anyone that's anywhere near as good or can do anything, you know, like Reynolds did. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
As a Souths fan, were you gutted when that was announced, or were you
really
when the news was first announced?
I wasn't gutted because I thought we were going to replace him with someone just as good or someone even better. I don't even know if there's anyone even better, like besides Cleary. So, yeah. But when I always gave it a chance. I was like, I thought if we let him go, we're going to get someone that's, you know, decent and can fill his role. But the last 2 years for me personally, I don't know if any South fans feels the same way. I'm pretty sure most of them do. But Ilias hasn't really lived up to that hype. So yeah, he's got a big like I said, this year's his year. If he doesn't perform this year, pretty much it's time to get someone new in. I personally think we should have signed Jamal Fogarty or Tanner Boyd from the Gold Coast. I think those are two really good halves that really could have been, you know, done well for us. But yeah, we went with Ilias, and you know, hopefully this year he turns it on, because if he doesn't, like I said, it's time to go.
You can't win them all. Last time you got Chris Sandow, you brought Reynolds in, so you did well on that round.
No, I love Chris Sandow. Anyone me knows I love Chris Sandow.
I actually got a photo of Chris Sandow back in the day. I've still got that. So, and I was taller than him. I'll take that credit. I was taller than him. He was actually really nice as well. So
people don't even look at it. Sandow played with the Souths. Sandow was at Souths from 2008 to 2011. those South teams were on the verge of making the 8, but they never really done anything because they were still a bit mediocre in all positions. After the year Sando left was when like South started making the top 4 every year and started challenging. I think if Sando played in those teams when they could, they were a top 4 team, he would have that worked wonders for him because he was a very big game player. Like he used to always play well in the big games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Last
just
point I
highlight-
wanna make on this
can you-
game-
Can you highlight Jeremy's comment quickly because it's had us all in stitches in the comments. We need to ask this question because he's obviously got a bit going on with the eye there and stuff. Can you confirm or deny, Anthony? Are you
like
on an
he's just sitting
episode of
there
RB? It's taken him 58 minutes to crack a funny, but Jeremy's got one out.
It's like he's just sitting there waiting for a mate.
What was the question?
He can't see the comments because he's on his phone. Jeremy said Anthony looks like he's on an episode of RBT.
No, man. What happened was I had a headset during footy. That's how it happened. So
Okay, that's a fair enough excuse.
it's not an excuse, it's the truth.
Those-
But yeah,
yeah. Watch out,
Those
Andrew.
park
Beck.
footy games, I'll tell you what.
Watch out, Andrew. That's 2 of us coming for you. Go on, Joel. Get on. with it. Get
Look,
us-
the last
take
point I
us
want to
to
make,
promised land.
I was going to say, can we stop and start talking some footy, boys? The forward packs are absolutely going at it. I think these are arguably 2 of the best forward packs in the competition. And they're basically both going to be going at it in probably the best arena for forward packs to go at it. We've already mentioned the fact of the field sizes. Everything's going to be much more condensed. Honestly, I am frothing at the mouth for this battle. I can't wait to see what it does for the likes of Carrigan, Haas, up against Lenu, who's going to get a starting role at the Roosters. But Terrell May coming off the bench. Sua Wong on the edge for the Roosters as well, who's an absolute class player. Jez, this forward pack battle, I don't even know who's going to come out on top, but I tell you what, I just can't wait to watch it.
It's exciting, isn't it? Just those names that you rattled off there. I think I'm just picturing some of the collisions that is going to happen. And I'm really interested in the battle of Victor
Ouch.
Radley and Pat Carrigan. I think that's going to be fun. And if Victor can keep his
Sin-bins or
head
what?
cool, he'll have a really good game and a really good season. So that's going to be one battle that I'm keen to watch.
That's the big if, isn't it, for Victor Radley? We all know he can be a very, very good player. He just needs to keep his head. Like, he just needs to stay on that field. And the Roosters look so much better when he's actually there to play footy, not be an absolute you-know-what. But it's so painful to watch because he's a very quality player. But I just feel like over the last year or two, he's actually in the pecking order for locks. He's gone quite down because of those issues he has with his discipline.
Absolutely. Due to his hot-headedness and his just lazy defense, he's slipped down that line. But if he gets his game on, if he can get his head in the right space, if he can put all that garbage behind him, he is a quality player.
and a name that Joel mentioned earlier that I can't even pronounce his first name properly, but I'll have a shot at it. Sui Wong. He's a beast, man. I watched him play against us in round 27 last year. I think it was when he just came on the scene. He's a freak. Like he'll be something big in the future. He's one of those players that I think he can play on the wing or he can play anywhere in the back line, but he can also play second row or play in the forwards as well. Like he's just a freak of nature, that kid. He's a very, very good player.
Supercoach special as well, guys. While he's starting in that forward pack, I'll give you a little Supercoach tip. Mika, I know you're probably there just looking at the lineups or putting on some bets. This forward
The
pack
lineup,
battle, this forward pack battle, and you're looking at the forward lineups probably right now. It's mouth watering.
Yeah, it is. I actually, looking at the lineups, only just realised that Hargraves isn't playing. So there you go.
Suspended.
Yeah, I don't know how I
Go
missed
on.
that. Go on, yeah.
Him and
gonna be
Schuster are
good.
watching the game together, trying to avoid trouble.
It's going to be
Getting
really
into
good.
trouble.
Spencer Lenu's a beast, and as you said about Wong, I've got Roosters going over top of him though, just slightly. I think.
We're not up to that
think
yet. Stop
you-
going ahead.
Didn't you talk about the
That's
forward pack?
twice now.
No, I
You
think the
mean-
Roosters
so
forward
you
pack.
mean okay.
Yeah, I think the Roosters
My
forward
bad,
pack
my
is
bad.
going to win the battle of the forwards. I got it
My
right
bad.
that time.
Adam?
Come on, give me a break.
Before we get to our predictions for this one, let us know what your thoughts on this forward pack battle. There's someone else I forgot to mention for the Broncos pack, Brendan Piacura, who is just, I think, all class on that edge there, and he's Cape Wells' replacement.
Yeah, look, Haas was obviously the benchmark last year for forwards. So all I'll say is it's up to the Roosters forwards to step up and match that with him if they want to win the game.
Couldn't say. And you know what? Because you were short and sweet, I'll start with you this time for the,
Oh, I was
the
going
winner
to add
margin.
one more
and
thing.
first- Sorry,
I think
Jez.
the benches. I think the Roosters have more depth on their bench. Crichton, Butcher,
Yeah.
Docker Clay, Watson, like Connor Watson coming in. Oh no, sorry, he's
You
in the
fucking-
reserves.
you-
I'm reading.
you
No,
love-
I'm reading.
you
the
love
reserves.
Connor
I'm
Watson,
reading the
don't you?
reserves. I love Connor Watson. He should be 14. Sorry.
He's not.
He's
He's not playing.
no, that's
Sandon
what I just
Smith.
said.
They got the
Smith,
combination
White,
of
Butcher, May. I think-
Brendan and Sandon Smith.
Yeah, I think the Roosters bench is a bit better than the Broncos bench as well.
They got incredible
Connor
depth
Watson
this
should be
year.
playing.
So, yeah, like Anthony mentioned before, Dom Young's not even playing, and they've got Suoliti on the wings. But anyway, let's get into our bold predictions for this one. So, winner, margin, and first try scorer. Adam, you're short and sweet, so take it away.
I'm sticking with my fullback predictions, and I'm going to go Reece Walsh first try scorer. I've got the Roosters by 8. As I said, I see things not going great for the Broncos. A bit of a grand final hangover. That's me winning margin and first try. But I'm still chucking in a bold prediction because I love bold prediction. I've got to do it. I've got Angus Crichton to have his best trip this year. No, and obviously I meant his trip across to Vegas. No, I have got as a bold prediction. I've already said it. I don't see Reynolds finishing the game. I just don't think everything's going to go the Broncos' way this year. I did the ladder prediction the other day. I've still got them finishing first. I think they'll get off to a bit of a slow start.
Don't have your bold prediction as someone getting hurt.
I know it's bad, but I just
changed
have a
mine. I was
feeling.
going to do that for Turbo, but I changed it. Don't do it.
I know,
Don't put
but
it out in the
I have-
universe.
It's already out there. I've said it like in the preview show. I'm sorry.
You're
I
a
just
bad
feel
person.
it.
Nick, let's get
I've got a
away.
feeling.
Let's get away from Adam's voodoo doll.
Yeah, so I've got Roosters winning, as you already heard, prematurely by me, despite the fact that I think that Walsh will win the fullback battle. I think they'll win by 12, and I think first try scorer will probably be, I'm going to go Tony Staggs.
I don't mind that one. Jez?
I've got the Roosters 13 plus. Daniel Tupou as my first try scorer. And my bold prediction is Angus Crichton is going to lose the tip of another finger.
He's not playing.
Oh, damn.
Crichton?
He's
How
on the
many players
extended bench.
Yeah, he's number
Do you
19.
just look at ways to
Right.
name players that aren't playing or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, Lindsay
You feel
Collins
sorry
to
for him?
lose
Do you
another
want to
tooth.
talk about him?
Lindsay Collins to lose another tooth.
Look out. Anthony, hit me with your predictions.
I'll go Broncos 1-12. I'll go Ezra Mam first try scorer. And bold prediction, I think Adam Reynolds will kick off 40-meter field goal.
Oh,
I'm always on the field.
huge.
Can
Huge.
I
Whilst
back,
on
can I
the
back-
field.
Can I backtrack quickly to my bold prediction again? Can I say Suaalii to be a bold prediction to score a double, and he will be a player that attracts interest of the NFL. There you go. I've come out and named another. He won't
That's a
make
good
rugby
one.
union. That's my bold prediction.
I have a
He'll go
question.
back on his word.
You talked about the field being shorter. We talking width or length?
Why don't we have
No,
Is it
both?
actually shorter? Is it actually
Yeah.
shorter in length?
Shorter in length.
So it is-
Oh,
The
it's-
goal lines are like the Super League.
yeah,
So
technically,
are they-
technically
How
it's a
long is
legal field. About 5 meters. It has to be over 5 meters. Remember the old Melbourne Olympic Park ones? So there's
So-
actually
Go on.
fun fact for you. There's actually no league. It just has to be over 5 meters legally for an NRL field, same as a Super League. So it doesn't actually have to be 10 meters. So if Parramatta wanted to, for example, they could make the in goal shorter. They could say for safety reasons, but the field itself, width-wise, a traditional rugby league field is 68 meters wide. It's it's what's it called? It is obviously, I think it's about 63, isn't it? 63 and a
Yeah.
half or
Yeah,
something.
I think
I
it's
knew the in goals would be shorter. I didn't expect the field to be narrower.
The field
massive
isn't as such like the between the goal lines is the same. It's just they've shortened the dead ball
in
areas
goals.
for that one. So yeah, the in goals.
right,
My
hang on.
ones,
I've got
I'll
a-
say my
I've got
first
a-
try scorer.
I've got a proper bold prediction. Sorry, Joel. Ezra Mam to kick the dreaded
I'll get to
first
mine. That's all
half
good.
field goal, and that's why they lose the game. The dreaded first half field goal.
Ooh, righto, Gus.
All right, that's all we've got time for tonight, guys.
First try scorer for me, Joseph Suoliti for the Roosters. I've got my winner here. I've actually got the Roosters 1-12. I just think there'll be a bit of a hangover from the Broncos last year, and they might just start a little bit slowly. And as they work into the season with some of those quality players that have left in Herbie Farnworth, Flegler, I think they're huge additions to the retrospective teams they've gone to. But yeah, that's it for the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We are basically Vegas time, baby. If you're over in Vegas, make sure you're safe. Make sure you are enjoying everything you're doing safely, and bring on Sunday's games. So good luck, Anthony. Good luck to South Sydney. Good luck to all the teams out over there. And yeah, enjoy your night.